I'm Dolly from Tokyo Taboo and you're watching BooTV. We have our own vision, and I think me and Mike kind of know exactly what we want to do. I would say that it's kind of close to Paramore, where Paramore came from, maybe a bit of where No Doubt came from, like really originally like in the 90s. It's like punk with rock, but I'm always very into like strong female vocals. We started off writing pop songs together, me and Mike, so we're trying to take a bit of that kind of catchiness and put it into the rock, so that it's not too, I guess, so that it's more radio friendly, so we can try and get more radio play. It's in the desert, so we shot it in a place called El Mirage, which is in California. So it was very, very hot. But luckily we shot like very early in the day. So I think when it was getting like very unbearable hot heat-wise, we just left. So it was kind of cool. We just love like the desert environment because it looks really cool on camera. So the original idea for that video was like Mad Max kind of inspired imagery, and I really love that film. And also like just like desert queens, like if you ever saw Beyonce's video, what's it called, Rewind the World? That one. And like there's like lots of desert kind of videos that I quite like. So I edited the video as well.
Oh really? Oh,
yes. And I guess we try and collaborate with people who have like similar ideas, or like who don't mind doing sort of slightly weird stuff, like nothing too normal. It's more about art than just what you're wearing. I think it comes from like the movie thing too. So like when we did the video, that's what the makeup was. So I'm wearing the makeup now that I wore in the video.
Oh good.
So it's like that. Oh yeah, obviously Deanne bought like we get compared to them a little bit because of the contacts and stuff that I wear. Maybe the kind of slightly weird imagery too, the visuals. My biggest influence is Freddie Mercury from Queen. And I guess also another influence would be someone like Madonna in terms of stage presence and performance. Lady Gaga, big singers like Whitney Houston, like I just always have loved like power voices. I think it is a really good way, and I think there's not much investment in music in terms of like label signings and stuff. So I think it's probably one of the main ways to push forward is building a fan base and finding people who really want to help you in that way. So it was really successful because we put the funding for the actual album, so the album's going to be out next year. We put that up on Pledge, and it pretty much within 5 days we reached our target. We supported a band called Esprit d'Air, so they're a Japanese rock band, and we did like a UK tour with them. And then we also just came back from doing Indie Week in Canada, so we did 5 or 6 shows there. And we've done like a lot of shows this year, like a lot. So that I think has made us change sort of how we record music too, because we've performed so much, it makes you like a little bit more conscious of how it's going to be live. Song to play live is going to be Self-Sabotage, because there's a lot of instrumental parts in it. So I have a pole inside the venue, so next to the stage. So I'm going to be doing like a small bit of pole choreography for the first time. So that's going to be fun. We saw him in Wembley, and it was really amazing, his stage performance and everything. He was on crutches because I think that was when something fell on him. He had this massive gun on stage and it fell on him, so he had to walk around with crutches, but he made it really amazing. It has showmanship. right? There's so many people who just stand there. I'm not up for that. I like the kind of craziness. I find it interesting because I get a lot of interesting messages on my Facebook. I get a lot of like obviously, like I use sexuality as a way to push the band forward, because I feel like it's like a powerful thing. But I feel like sometimes other females maybe don't like that, and other men, maybe it gives men the wrong idea. Because I feel like I am a strong female, like I definitely don't let anyone take advantage of me. And I feel like I'm in charge of my own image. It's a tricky subject, but yeah, I think with being a female in the band, there's that whole thing about sex that's kind of weird. You know, like it's like a strange thing to be part of in that way. Get a team behind you who is not interested in getting in your pants. Because that's the hard thing. I worked with producers who came on to me, I worked with managers who came on to me, I've worked with people high up in the industry. So I think it's a male-dominated industry, and I think it's a nightmare, basically. You know, like Kesha? She had that whole, the Dr. Luke Kesha trial type thing. But that happens, I'm sure, like a lot. Especially to young, pretty girls who want to sing, right? And that happened a lot to me too. So
it's sick, like
but it's just men taking advantage, and I think it's much better to be part of like a unit, a team, and especially being part of a team that is protective of you and that have got your back. I think that's really important. I would write a Christmas song about, okay, so around our family Christmas it's really weird because both me and Mike and my sister and her boyfriend are vegan, and then my mum and her boyfriend are not, so we have like 2 Christmas dinners. So I'd have like a punk rock anthem like, why are you not eating vegan just for one meal with us? That would be my punk rock anthem. Maybe rhubarb and custard, because rhubarb is slightly sour and like fucked up, and then custard is like really sweet.
I love it.
So like the combination.
That's cute.
I mean, Mike once got me a mug with me and him on it, and like my 2 cats. So I really like that mug. Yeah, and this type of like sentimental shit that like that you just kind of is quite cute. Yeah, this type of present is really nice. Buy our new single, No Pleasure, Only Pain. That's one. And then the other thing is we have another gig coming up on February the 22nd at Camden Assembly, which is going to be really good because it's going to have Polly Pickpockets, who you saw. It's going to have Your Mum, who you saw. It's going to have Healthy Junkies and us as well. And so we're going to have a new single out then. So that's like the next. We're going to do this all over again with a new video. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. So that's like the next thing we're looking forward to.
Awesome.
See you later.